All right, for those just joining us for the first time, which there probably is, there's a small percentage. Right, I feel like most of you guys are kind of recurring viewers, but everybody's got to watch their first Sam Arm Day eventually. Actually, yeah, shit. So even though I edit all these together, I don't really watch them back. Huh. That's neither here nor there. But as a short introduction, just me and you to get on the up and up, right? I would describe myself as somebody of a variety of talents. I've clocked a good few hundred hours of Mario Kart 7 back in my in my kind of elementary, middle school days. That was sort of the thing to do on the bus ride to and fro. And it's 30 minutes each way, so it kind of adds up pretty easy. I was honestly, intermediate is probably giving myself too much credit, but I was a relatively audible violin player back in high school. But of all the random kind of niche little rabbit holes I've dived into, I'd say only one has categorized itself as a real obsession, and I say that pleasantly, right? And that's it's 4 words, right? The PUMP. Let's make it 5, add an exclamation point, right? So that's the plan for tonight. Get my arms essentially as pumped as possible. But I guess that's actually kind of a side goal, right? I'm really walking to the gym today with the goal, number 1, of have as good of a workout as I can, right? But that's a very large umbrella of factors, right? And it's going to change insanely depending on the person. For somebody who's never even worked out before, just going to the gym and having a reasonable arm workout, like trying this stuff out before, like you've never done a preacher curl or like a cable curl or whatever, just trying something for the first time, that's the goal. But for as long as I've been doing it, I've got a few aspects, a few components that I want to make sure I hit. One, and let's just group tries and buys together. Obviously, I'm going to hit them in different ways, but let's just group them together as like the lift. Right? I want to make my sets as difficult as possible, and what I mean by that is just like push myself as hard as I can, so that I know if I'm doing push downs and like it's getting hard and I really can't finish a complete rep again, like I know that I'm not just lying to myself and like feeling it just get reasonably difficult and then say, okay, that's enough. Like I really want to get to the point where the breaking factor, right, the weak link in the chain, isn't my mental fortitude of like trying to send signals to my triceps to keep moving. It's the fact that physically I just can't contract and exert enough force to move the weight anymore, right? That's what I'm aiming for on a set-by-set basis. Now, for some of like the squeezing pump sets, that's more so just for a specific kind of burn, but that's usually either a finisher or occasionally a warm-up. But like, just to put it simply, I want to go as hard as I can in all the sets that I do, not leave anything in the tank. And in tandem with that, just as important, I would argue, is I don't want to hurt myself, right? So as much as I want to do a heavy, nasty set of curls, I don't want to rip my bicep off or like tweak my forearm, or even just something as small as like feel a little pinch somewhere, because that sucks. That's taking steps backward, right? So I put that just as important now as like making sure I go as hard as I can, is to go as hard as I can within reason, right? Like there's a certain line when it comes to your sets, and this isn't something you even have to worry about for a while. Like if you're just I'd be shocked unless somebody did like the weirdest thing ever. If you just grab a pair of dumbbells, reasonably heavy, and tried to really kill it and just do as many curls as you could do, you're not going to tweak nothing. I'm kind of in a certain circumstance where it's like I can potentially move weight that's heavy enough to hurt myself. I want to go as hard as I can, not hurt myself, and in the process of doing so, a good indicator that what I'm doing has been working, including everything I've done beforehand, sleep, rest, diet, everything else. If I really push it and I got enough rest, drank enough water, ate enough food, I'm in a good mental just state so I can keep doing it without getting too distracted, then that's what's going to result in an insane pump. you know. So it's not like physically getting pumped is what I'm aiming for. It's got to have some kind of, you know, muscle gaining effects, because it's like, you know, extra blood flow to the area, reoxygenation, like you know, there's probably some kind of inflammation effect that the local pump that you get in whatever muscle you're hitting actually induces, you know, some kind of mTOR. I'm not trying to think about it that deeply, right? Because that doesn't affect what I'm doing in the gym. You know, what is the benefit of like somebody looking at a microscope at certain, you know, muscle fibers, and like that's not what we're doing, right? This isn't insane kind of science. Lift hard, get a pump, and if those two things were in order, odds are, you know, not 100%, but odds are you just did your job. You know, the goal that we're all kind of working to achieve every time we come into the gym, of inducing some kind of growth effect, or some kind of just at least maintenance effect or strength gain or whatever. If you really push it and you don't lie to yourself, and you get a solid pump at the end, assuming you're doing like a bodybuilding style, like just regular lift, that's all. And the rest of it will just kind of fall into place, you know. So that's kind of been my shtick. So crap, what month is it now? January, February, March, April. No, January, February, March. All right, middle of March. Yeah, shit. Coming up on the 7-year mark. I got to go back. I've been saying this forever. I need to really try to organize all my old progress photos from like my old iPods and my old iPhone and stuff, and get those compiled. Do a I don't know. It'd feel weird to do like a Sam Sulek transformation video where it's like a dubstep kind of hype song like everybody else does. I feel like I'd rather get all those photos with like timestamps down like in order, and then just like kind of scroll through them on screen, and then sort of, you know, describe some parts as it goes by. So that's on the to-do list for sure, but that's for later on. That's for future Sam to worry about. Current Sam is most concerned about making sure that I can grab a certain cable attachment, whichever one I think feels the best, and start with some kind of push down that will just feel like a good starting movement, which I won't really know for sure until I get started, get warmed up, and kind of see how I feel. You know, like right now it's hard to tell. I don't think I would mind squeezing rope extensions, but who knows? Maybe I'll walk in, start warming up, and say to myself, oh shit, all right, today is going to be a slap a plate on the side of the stack and start with heavy push downs kind of day. You know, it's I guess we're both going to find out at the same time. So let's just stop talking about it and go find out. Coupled with some TikTok edits, let's start with underhand long D-handle extensions, which these are kind of cool because it's sort of a combination of a rope extension and an underhand extension. Because with the rope, I mean, yeah, you get the same effect of like spreading the handles apart at the bottom and really getting a good squeeze. But the underhand just kind of feels a little different. And you're a little weaker pushing like this than like this. So no need to throw any extra weight. The stack will suffice. And I'm trying to remember exactly what I was saying in the car. Don't leave anything in the tank. Ooh. There we go. No. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. One more, maybe two more of those. That's a little mechanical drop set. Switch from the weaker movement to the strong one. No need to change the weight. Yeah, this is actually a perfect starter movement. Because I'm getting, what the hell? Well, I'm getting the boast of Meth worlds. The best of both worlds. That light, well, not light, but that squeezing underhand movement where holding this position is the tricky part. Right? But then I also get kind of the pump effect of some overhand pushdowns. So let me pick another one out of the saved. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. 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 Holy shit. Whoa. Yeah. One more of those. And just as a little mental note when it comes to your mindset preset, a little rhyme there, you don't need to get pissed. That's an easy way to do it. Like, it's a pretty one-to-one relation of like, you fucking this. You know, I think that's where the gym gets a lot of its, you know, kind of escape or release vibes from. You know, because you can get any of your pent-up whatever out. You know. But I'm not thinking pissed. I'm thinking just like, I'm thinking amped. You know, a couple breaths, some kind of, you know, yeet at it. That helps. That freaking helps. All right. Oh my god. Holy shit. That's perfect. And I know what's next too. Let's get that shit started. Some overhead extensions will do quite well. Gotta roll the sleeves up because this shirt does not have any give. I'd hate to rip it, this thing's freaking cool. Okay. Oh shit. Probably two more of those. And with these, well, I guess it's the hard part of the painful part is the buildup of fatigue in that stretch position. But I love those. I can't deny it. The lifts are way more fun when you're eating a good amount of food, that's for sure. But yeah, probably 2 more of these. Let me pick a song that really gets me going. You know what I can't stand? There are kids out there, and I say kids because it's kind of the newer generation, watching Solo Leveling, acting like it's better than Hunter x Hunter. Look, I'm going to take a firm stance. Not so freaking sure about that. But that's all I got to say there. Let me just pick one of these and get going. Oh. No. Oh. Oh. No. Boom. Ah. Boom. Ay. Boom. Ay. Ah. Oh, okay, my God. Oh. One more. Oh. No. Ah. Oh. Ah. 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 Ay. Oh. Boom. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Ooh. Oh, man. Let me think. One more set might not even be freaking necessary. Have I got a plan? Well, I guess not for you, a plan for me, for what the finisher shall freaking be. So, a pre-exhausting style approach. I'm thinking, 10, 15 reps with, half a stack, nothing crazy heavy. And this portion is not going to be to failure. This is squeeze and get a good burn. And then once I'm pre-exhausted, jump over yonder, use the second cable, which nobody else is using right now. So I'm not being a freaking, gym hog, and do full stack pushdowns, pumpish style, totally burn out, and that should be a good ender. So now let's just pick an Attack on Titan original soundtrack song and go extra freaking crazy. Okay, and go a little heavier. Oh, that's good. Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh my God. Holy shit. Yeah. I think that's the perfect amount of volume for tries today. Let's go curl something. I was just saying this last tricep lift, but now I can say my arms haven't felt this pumped, well, definitely this whole year. So halfway done, very good start. The 65s were, well, they weren't bad, but the 70s are lifting me a little bit the wrong way. So let's put them in their place first. And I don't mind a little swing in here. This is not a light, slow, and squeezing set. It's, let's just say something a little more guttural. That's good. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, one more of those. Freaking minimum. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh. Let's move on. If that was heavy and nasty, let's do something light squeezing. Those were two good sets though. So seated, easy bar cable curls. Not the stack, but close to it. 80 pounds out of the available 95. And with these, even though this is like heavy, like doing one rep actually does feel like I'm moving some weight around. It's light enough that I can hold it. And it's honestly like as heavy as I can go and still feel confident I can do at least like 4 or 5 good ones with a full second hold. So it's kind of going to be a 2-phase set. And honestly, a set like this is pretty much perfect. Not perfect, but pretty damn good. So clean reps in the beginning with an extra squeeze, with some extra hold. And then, right, you get weak to the point where you can't really hold it anymore. Then you just keep doing reps up to the top. And then maybe add a little body language for the end just to get some extra reps moving. A little more work than you might have done if you just racked it as soon as it started to feel hard. And now the only thing left for me to do is execute it with, well, let's just say with no mercy. That's what I'm aiming for. And actually, 87.5. All right. Oh, one more. Let's go back to 80. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh shit. One more dose. Man, my exercise selection today has been on freaking point. All of these are clicking. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, I think that's it. All right, that's officially the best arm day of 2025 for me, which is, well, I guess it is a laughing matter. All right, that was a really good ender. Yeah, so I mean, only 2 movements for biceps. Now, they were very different. One was heavy, nasty curls, and the other one was still heavy-ish, but more light, squeezing cable curls. And frankly, I mean, I hit the 2 kind of movements I like for biceps. Hit them pretty freaking hard. I can tell I'm fully fatigued. I can definitely tell I'm fully pumped. So now all that's left to do is freaking actually pose down, which is kind of tricky because this thing does not just want to slip off. Especially when I'm sweaty. Okay, this might not be a workout shape. Going forward. I like it though. It's kind of old school. Kind of gives me some Sopranos vibes. But yeah, damn. Not even 2 weeks into the bulk, and I'm already feeling like a freaking freak with these things flopping around my torso. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. Oh, oh my gosh. I mean, this is just nice. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, I mean, just words almost can't describe it. But, you know, if I really had to, pumped is certainly a good description. But I feel very, well, honestly, swollen is probably the only correct term. Like, frankly, if my arms or some other just random body part felt like this out of nowhere, I'd say it would be cause for concern enough to go to freaking urgent care, right? You think you're about to have a, well, I mean, depending on the body part, it might just be a 4-hour type situation. But either way, that was a very good, dense arm day for me. And this is, I mean, this is really just getting me freaking excited for what's to come. I mean, Look, I know it might seem silly to come to the same gym or different gyms, but come to the gym basically every day, work out hard, look at the mirror, and every day say, yeah, holy shit, nice. Like, I know it might seem a little bit repetitive, but I swear, no aspect of this, repetition is at all tiresome. Maybe the cardio a little, but honestly, the fact that I know it plays into this working out and gets my energy better, gets my freaking endurance better, makes sure my metabolism is kind of solid so I can keep eating extra food and look reasonably lean and not get too soft when I start bulking up. Dude, all freaking positives. But for you, let's jump in the car. For me, let's try to fucking put this shirt back on. Yeah, the nylon does not do well with sweat, but I do like this little windbreaker. Either way, I'll see you in the car. All right, I hope the audio didn't bug out. I think my aux cable has reached its limit because you get the microphone connected to the camera with the little aux cable. It's kind of being a little jittery, But oh shit, I was about to say something. Damn insightful too. Give me a jug. Fuck. Shit, what was I about to say? Give me like 30 seconds to remember. Yeah, okay, now I remember. So what I was about to say was I feel as though it would probably be in your best interest on a set-by-set basis, even just a workout-by-workout basis, to go into it and go about it as though you are the freaking man. The music that's going in your ears is the background of a music video and you are the subject, right? Or I guess maybe not music video, maybe just like hype workout edit. This is your space. This is your time. Grab those 15 pounds for some lateral raises, right? Or, whatever. There we go. So the reason I say that, and that's with the caveat, don't walk around like an asshole. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying act like you own the place. I'm just trying to say it's, if you're essentially going, you are kind of going into a battle of sorts, right? As much as you can physically tolerate with, whatever sort of set circumstances you're giving yourself, be it a heavy, nasty one, a lighter, squeezing one, a, long, torturous, stretching set of overhead tricep, whatever it is, right? You're going to war. I'm a little, maybe exaggerating a little, but not too much. So act like you're a winner, own it. I was just kind of thinking this on those sets of tricep extensions. I could tell failure was not very abrupt, which that's where I really kind of have to dig deep. Because with squats, I'm going hard, but it's like, it's only 8 reps, or it's only 10 reps, it's like nothing. But with those tricep extensions, if it's getting into like 15, 16, 17 reps, and they're slow with a real stretch focus, that's kind of a long set, So I almost try to, like when I was doing those sets, and I'm counting 1, 2, like I'm getting in my mind, like, okay, aim for 30. Like I'm aiming for 30, that's what I want, 30. Because if I get in my head, a real number, like if I had 15 reps in my head, or if I got like 16 or even like 12, if I get that easier number in my head, then in your mind, you're almost tricking yourself into thinking that you've achieved your goal of the set. Like, oh, I got 15. I was thinking 15. I did it. Oh, we're done. Oh, this isn't comfortable. And then it's like, dude, you could have gotten a few more, And that's not like an arbitrary thing. That's not just like, dude, you could have done 10 more. All right, that's something you kind of build up to. Like your ability to push yourself that hard is a skill that you're going to kind of improve lift after lift after lift, year after year, kind of whatever, right? Like, I think right now, I can take a set like that much closer to real failure, which is like just as much as I can physically do Like if you analyze my triceps and somehow pumped it through like an AI computer with everything, it's going to say, Sam can do 20 reps of overhead tricep extension. His tricep is capable of 20 full reps. And I only could physically get 16, right? Because it was just getting too hard. I couldn't send the signals. I'm getting closer to that real number. Whereas as like a total beginner, I might call it at 10 and think, okay, that felt kind of hard. That's enough for me. But as a beginner, that could be okay. The idea is to improve over time, right? But on a step-by-step basis, you want to get excited. You want to be confident. You want to go into it as though simply you're invincible, right? You are unstoppable. You are going to move this weight. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Now that's don't get too overzealous with that idea, right? I'm not trying to say throw 4 plates on bench and do a Hail Mary. I'm just saying, with your sets, the more excited and hyped up you can get, the better. Like I've never really been a huge fan of I'm not a huge fan of the guys that just scream for no reason too. Like you can tell when somebody's really putting it on a little bit too much. But I've never been a fan of the guys that train like calm, in the sense that they're like they don't make any faces, they just, yep, that's muscular failure right there. Really? Oh, and that, even worse, I see guys do sets where they're still talking to whoever it is they're talking with, and they're like doing a rep or whatever. Like if you're warming up, that's cool. But if I'm really pushing it on a set, I'm not really saying much. I'm not really hearing much either. If I'm doing a crazy set or whatever, and somebody was talking to me, well, for one, I've got my music playing, so I'm not listening. But even if I had no headphones and it was just gym music, I'm kind of, I'm focused, right? Now, in between sets, that's a different story, right? Give somebody a spot if they need it, chat with somebody for a second, whatever. It can be, like, I do think there's a massive benefit to the gym of just being a nice little social hour. Once you get out into, out of school, where you get to hang out with the same group of everybody day after day after day, you kind of lose that, right? That's important, apart from, like, just whoever you live with. It's kind of nice to have a little, kind of a group like that. It's tribal, almost, some parallel play. Everybody's doing the same thing on their own, all working towards the same end goal. It's just nice, but shit, now I'm distracting myself. Well, okay, now I forget. I was about to say something, but whatever. But either way, if you can really get into it, I think you're going to have better lifts, because for, at least in my experience, I've had pretty abrupt moments in my kind of lifting journey where it was just kind of moments of reflection. What the fuck is going on? Guy just flashed his lights at me. I promise I've got my headlights on. Did I have my brights on or something? Maybe they saw the lights in the car. Who knows? But yeah, so I've had a some pretty abrupt moments in my kind of journey where I ended up thinking to myself, man, I gotta fucking step it up. I gotta up my game right now, Earlier, or the earliest ones of those was, well, actually, in the beginning, I guess it was kind of marginal, gradual increases, right? Like I'm talking, what am I talking? Well, I'm talking going from just dumbbells in my bedroom to setting up a little gym space in the basement to having my dad order a squat rack so that I could actually throw the barbell that we had in the crawl space up and, start doing some stuff like that. So, and then, eventually making my way to actually lifting at the Y. My buddy Brandon was a bodybuilder at the time, and he kind of brought me under his wing a little bit, showed me a couple of workouts, and then I was kind of off on my own, watching all sorts of, like Athlete X and old Jeff Nippert videos where he made like really concise, like basic outlines of just how to work out, like how to work, literally just like how to work out, like what's a good workout split, what's a good workout frequency, like just real basic stuff like that. And it was super informative at the time, because they had a lot of good editing in them, where it's like graphs and plots and everything, very easily digestible. But watching all that kind of stuff, and then once you get the basics, once you've gotten a basic framework of, okay, you're doing push-pull legs, you're doing the Arnold split, you're doing whatever, 8 to 10 sets per lift or per body part, go hard. You get your mom to, you convince your mom to even let you, I guess she's the one buying it, but you convince her to buy creatine and amino acids, and of course she thinks it's going to kill you, and then eventually get into pre-workout and everything else. But once I've gotten the basic framework of what the working out was, like actually lifting, actually getting pumps, damn, and I can't overstate this. My satisfaction of seeing myself pumped up, even now at like a mid 250, to going back to when I started at like 160, like looking at myself pumped up after a good workout, that feeling is no different, right? I mean, because all that is just a marginal bump above your baseline level. So it doesn't matter where that baseline level is, that marginal bump of having a good workout, seeing yourself all pumped up, it's going to elicit the same response, So it's whitetail, but it's just nice, right? Like, I don't feel any better now than I did back then, and that's not to say that I expect to feel any better. That's more so to say, working out at any level, if you go hard and you've got that itch for some exercise, dude, you're gonna feel it in a good way. But I'm working out. I know what I'm doing. I got a basic gist of a routine, and the problem with routine is it kind of becomes routine, right? It kind of becomes mundane. You start to think you know everything. You start to get yourself in this little hole of like, all right, I know what I'm doing. And as soon as you get that idea in your mind, you start to close it off to new ideas, because you know what you're doing. Why should you keep watching new workout videos, or why should you keep asking guys for tips, or why should you try anything new? You know what you're doing, right? So that's where I've kind of gradually I mean, it's almost as though the longer I've worked out, the less that I've said I know exactly what I'm doing, in the sense that I want to be open to kind of new ideas and different kind of rep schemes and styles and everything else, because you never know what might kind of hit your tricep a different way if you've never done it. But I'm lifting, doing the same workouts, the same everything, and it wasn't so much that I had a bad workout and thought to myself, man, what the fuck was that? I gotta step up my game. Ugh. What happened was, I'm not sure exactly what. I kind of just probably gradually got comfortable with the routine that I was doing, and I think my actual intensity set by set was starting to maybe drop a little, very slowly, to a level which I was just very comfortable with. And then for whatever reason on that particular night, because I'm at the home gym in the basement, I just had an insane chest day. Really hyped, really well rested, everything clicked. I drank enough water. I'm in the freaking zone. I'm going nuts. I really pushed myself a few degrees harder than I had the last few months. And that's a very eye-opening thing, at least if you got a little chip on your shoulder of okay, I want to go hard. I want to be the guy who can go hard when he's working out. So if you ever have a lift where you push it extra hard, that should be your new normal, right? That should be now what you're accustomed to, and what you want to bring it up to at the minimum, if not exceed that level of intensity, So that's where it's not even so much that I'm concerned with someone's progressive overload, on a first degree basis, because sure, go do a set of bench of 10 reps with 190, and then next week add some micro plates, add 2.5s, do 195 for 10, then next week 200 for 10. But I feel that's a little bit you're kind of putting the cart before the horse, in the sense that if every time you come to the gym you sort of, you warm up and everything, and you pick a weight that's as much as you can really do for 10 or 12 or 8 to 12 or whatever, and you really push it to failure, and the rest of the workout follows suit with that level of intensity, then you'll almost have no choice but to continually progressive overload, at least to a degree, because now when you come back after having done that workout with that level of intensity and really bringing it, then the next workout, or at least the workouts in the future on average, should kind of increase, because now you're going to be stronger, not only physically but also mentally. Like, you'll have the ability to really get your nervous system going and push it extra hard. So I'm not necessarily concerned with making sure I know exactly what numbers I'm doing today and last week and the week before, and it's not linear anyway, because I've got essentially no concern with my strength level when I'm dieting down. Right, I want to maintain some strength, of course, like lift reasonably heavy weights. That's part of the whole like muscle maintenance, maintaining all this lean tissue underneath as I get leaner. But it doesn't bother me. I wasn't really upset that I wasn't squatting 5 plates and change during this dieting phase. I like doing it, but that's not the point. So it's not super linear when I go bulk to cut, and everything else. But even on this bulking phase, I didn't think to myself, okay, today I want to curl the 70s. I curled the 65s last arm day, and I curled the 55s the arm day before that. So I want to continue this gradual increase in weight. It's more so I'm more capable now, plus I've got a bunch of food in my system, that's kind of a big part of it too, than I was before. So I'm really only going about it as, okay, I want to lift as much as I can for a reasonable set of like 10, 8 to 12, somewhere around that range, and have that be legit failure. So what weight is that going to be? And if every lift you're lifting the exact same weight for the exact same number of reps, not even getting into the fact that odds are you could probably increase your calories, get some more food in your system, up your recovery, probably increase some kind of muscle hypertrophy, and then you'd be stronger anyway. Just looking at it as a training-based situation, then I feel like you might not really be pushing it, because the amount of training that you have to do to maintain your state of being, it's not that crazy. You don't really have to kill it day after day after day to stay where you're at, right? It's an unfortunate fucking thing to say, or freaking thing to say, sorry about that, but a lot of lifters are like that. They come to the gym, they're taking the pre-workout, they've got gym clothes, they're excited about it, they like the gym. If you even say the word gym around your phone, you're going to get gym-related social media content that you're being fed. You've got vitamins, you got your creatine, you got everything. You're spending hours in the gym per week, but if you don't really try to push it and really kind of, I don't want to say redline, but at least, rev your engines to a healthy freaking RPM and really push yourself, then it's not that hard to just stay exactly where you're at, even if you do everything else right. So that's where I think you're never going to go wrong going harder, right? That's why, honestly, that's why I'm such a reps in reserve hater, just in like a overarching kind of ideological sense, because to leave reps in reserve is to hold yourself back. There's a place, of course, right? Like if I'm doing squeezing sets of flies, or like a pumper set of flies, and I'm just going for the burn at the end of a chest day, I don't need to do like complete muscular failure, right? So it's, take it with a grain of salt there. But I just disagree with the basic idea that represents, because that represents knowing that you could go harder and stopping yourself beforehand, which I can't agree with. Oop, somebody getting pulled over way in the background. Not me though. But I'm not joking. If you know you can push it and then you cut it short beforehand, you better have a freaking good reason, because apart from that, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes if that's what your sets end up looking like. And I'm not trying to dog on anybody specifically, but that's kind of how I want to go about this training. But of course, that's in a bulking, growing context. Eventually, I'm going to reach a point where I'm as big as I want to be. I want to just maintain kind of a big, lean kind of size, and then I'll be able to chill in a sense. And I don't mean chill like that's a relief. I mean, there will be no point in really trying to kill it like that, because I'm where I want to be. Plus, I mean, after a while lifting, you got to kind of be careful. There's no such thing as unbreakable tendons or untweakable shoulders and everything else. So I'm trying my best now to prevent any of that in the future by tweaking myself. But I guess all that's to say is a common theme of these next few months is going to be throttling it. Getting excited, going hard, enjoying the fact that you did go hard, or I guess that I did go hard, and then coming home and fueling up for next time. So I mean, that's really all I can say. Boil down Sam to his most basic components. Go hard, get a pump, go home, get some food, and repeat. Right? That's the four-step cycle of me. Plus the rest of life, I guess. But that's the main part. That might be a little too one-dimensional, but in a lifting context, I like it. So I think that's all I got. Plan for tomorrow with legs. We will have to see. If I think, well, we'll just have to see. I'll either make it a quad focus day or a hamstring focus day. So I guess tune in tomorrow, or don't if you're a leg day skipper. Right? We don't want you watching that video anyway. I know that's not you, but they're out there, right? You can smell them, right? There's a certain aura you can kind of pick up. But that's all I got. So I'll see you tomorrow.